Good morning, my dear YouTube friends. It's Monday morning, and last week was a very hectic week with an ending that was described by some of you as a cliffhanger. Yeah, it was a cliffhanger for me too. Let's see what it's like. I left here, it was already getting dark. Okay. Oh. Have a look. Yeah, so there's definitely plenty of cleaning work to do, and I have to figure out what the best way is going to be to get the glue spots off the tiles. Yeah, it's all cured. Should be able to walk on it. Scary. Walking on the new floor. Yeah, the color. A lot of you guys responded, and most of you guys actually like the color. Actually, I heard no one complaining. There was an option offered of painting it with a specialized paint that will be okay with the floor heating. And you know, painting is always an option. Laying another layer of tiles on top of it is also always an option, but I'm going to give it time. I don't think it's that bad. And you know, you gotta see it with the interior on it. It's now empty. You got one thing, which is a blue stove, basically. Yeah, I think I will like it. I think I will like it. Yeah. And you know what? I've never laid tomate, and tomate is like a super down to earth, simple floor tile. So I had these little dividers ready and all tools to level the tomate to make it perfectly straight, because the only tiles I've laid before were like normal standard tiles coming from you know, a tile shop, a tile factory. But these tomate you cannot lay straight unless you take a really wide gap in between them. Otherwise it's just, and I've seen it before months ago in an old house, and I thought, oh god, why did they have these big gaps between the tiles? It's ugly. Now I understand. I mean, then you can sort of make it straight. It's not straight, you know, corners are not really lined up, but I think it's okay. I'm going to have a very light grey grouting, hopefully, and I think it's okay. I think it's part of the characteristics of this floor. I'll let you have a look at some of these misalignments. Yeah, no, I think I'm happy. Oh, so today I gotta start cutting the tiles. The size for the edges, I gotta do a little bit at the entrance there. Then I gotta finish caulking the door, the little windows in the door, because that needs to dry, and then I'm going to the biggest DIY store that there is in this environment, and that's called Brico Depot. It's half an hour from here, and I need to buy a whole lot. I need to buy parts for my temporary shower, which is basically now the priority after this floor. I have a toilet, I can cook, I'll be warm here, I need a shower. So I bought an IBC tank, which is I'm gonna cut the top off, and that's going to be my temporary shower with a curtain around it. I have a gas fueled water heater. I gotta buy parts for the water line. I gotta buy a lot. Yeah, I gotta buy a lot. Anyway, so I'm going to start now trying to figure out how to get that lime residue off the tiles, and then I'm going to continue cutting tiles and finishing the floor because it needs a cure. Okay, talk to you later. Yeah, okay, I've tried most of these parts on the Dremel, but the best way seems to be just to do it with a scouring pad. And then rinse it with water. Yeah, that's doable. Yeah, that's doable. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So I better start with the edges, the remaining tiles, because the tile glue needs to cure. That's time consuming. So yeah, let's work efficient here. I'll start with laying the rest of the tiles, and then the door, and then we can do this tomorrow. I'll buy some more of these scouring pads and a mop or something, because I don't even have a mop. Yeah, this is okay, cool. That's one less worry. Okay, let's start cutting tiles. That's gonna be a messy, dusty job, but anyway, gotta be done. Yeah, so when I got the tiles, I power washed all of them. I've seen all of them. I selected the best ones only for the house, because I have half a pallet left over. And yesterday, when I came, I noticed one tile had a yellow mark, a yellow stain on it, which I saw before when I power washed the tiles, and I got rid of the ones with yellow stains on them. Yesterday I saw one, and today I see many more. And I have no idea. Obviously they don't show when the tile is wet, but now they show. And they're ugly. They're really ugly. Have a look. So I've already sent a message to the supplier asking what they are and what can you do about them, because I really don't know. Can't see what they are. So I've taken one tile which had yellow stains, and I've sanded it with 120 grit, and then I washed it. And let me see, decent light. And most of the yellow stain is gone. There's just a little bit left on the edge. So and I've warmed it up, the tile, with a heat gun, just to see what would happen. Because if by sanding the tile the yellow stain disappears, then I can sand most of the tiles. That's not a big deal. Actually, I quite like it when it's sanded. The surface becomes a little bit more rough, less polished. But if sanding doesn't work and the yellow stain comes back also on this sanded tile, then I would have to paint the tiles. If I were to paint the tiles, then I shouldn't be grouting now, which is the plan, because I don't want the grout to become the same color of the tiles, but then I don't really have time. So I think I'm going to sand the tiles with the worst spots, yellow spots now, and then I start grouting, and then we'll see how we go. Worst case scenario, I'll have to paint the tiles, and that means I have to get the grout out with the Dremel. I don't think the stain goes throughout the whole tile, but I don't know. I don't understand what it can be. Anyway, let's just sand the worst tiles. Get that stain gone. Now I spent most of the day sanding the floor. I think it is some sort of chemical or paint that dropped on the tiles somewhere in the past, and this was just a lot that couldn't be sold anymore. I have contacted the supplier, Tout Ver Bordard, and 3 hours later he sent me a message that he would get back after lunch. Well, it's now 2:30, but as you can see, where I sanded the yellow spots, they appear back. Lighter, not as intense, but they appear back. Alexa, stop music. And I have treated one tile that I sanded with this dirt resistant sort of sealer, and that looks like this. So there's still a yellow sheen on it, but I don't know how that will develop. I mean, it could be much more tomorrow, because when I laid the tiles, these yellow stains were not on them. They appeared later. So worst case scenario is that we're gonna have to paint all the tiles. Terrible. This is just not nice. Not something I can use at this moment. I also don't understand the supplier. I mean, if I would sell a faulty lot of tiles and they would be installed and there appear all kinds of problems with them, then I should be in my car and I should be on the way. This is just not good. It's really not good. I'm really not happy with this. Don't know really what to do. Yeah, I'll keep on sanding the yellow spots, I guess. Good morning, Wednesday morning. What a massive drama. This is the first real drama that I've had since doing up this house. What a drama with these tiles. Yeah, so the yellow spots. I've tried sanding the tiles yesterday. I have sanded the tiles, but the yellow goes inside the tile. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of paint, or I don't know what it is, but it has soaked into the tile. The tile is quite porous, so it has soaked up the yellow bit. I can't sand it out. I can make it lighter, but I can't sand it out, and lighter is not good because it's a yellow that doesn't, it looks out of place in this tile. It's not, it doesn't look good at all. So I contacted Baudard in Saint-Pourçain, and they don't know what to do, and they didn't give a solution. Actually, they replied my text messages hours after I've sent them. I've asked them, well, I want to talk about some kind of, I don't know, refunds, and he said, yeah, you can get some free stuff from the shop. Actually, the most frustrating part about the whole thing is the way I feel that they've treated me. I've bought 80% of all my materials with them the whole summer. I'm only doing a part of the house now. The biggest part is still to come, and then he should have stepped in the car. He should have come out, and he should have sort of worked towards a solution. But no, they I don't understand that kind of attitude. I really don't. They really made a mistake by giving me tiles that are just damaged, basically. You can't sell these. So what I've done, I've been to another shop and I've bought paint. I've bought a white paint for these tiles and some coloring pigment. And yesterday I've done a little bit of experimenting, trying to match the same color, because actually I started to like this color. It's some, we call it terracotta, it's some sort of pottery color. I really start to like it, and also I like the differences in color per tile. It's not one similar color in every tile, so I would find it a shame to paint it all. I really would find it a shame. So I thought, well, if I could sort of make a blend of the same color and just tap it on the yellow spots, would that work? I gotta continue with that today, that experiment. But yeah, and also the strange thing is, yesterday in preparation for painting, I washed all the tiles with some special detergent, and then the yellow spots disappear. So they disappear when the tiles are humid. Actually, right now, you don't see them. They're not here anymore, because the tiles are still humid. But then when they dry up, the yellow spots appear again. So I was thinking, should I just treat all the tiles with linseed oil? Would that make the spots disappear? And linseed oil dries over time, so that could also provide for a nice coating. But then I figured, once I put linseed oil on, there's no way back, huh? You cannot paint after that. It's just greasy, sort of greasy. So I didn't sleep well last night. It was just brainstorming about what to do, and I've just decided, let's leave it for now. The tiles are in. This is not going to be full of furniture anyway. Let's just focus on the things I really need to do to move into this little house, because by the end of this week, it's Wednesday now, by Sunday I need to live here. Or at least I need to move off of the camping, and the facilities that I'm still using at the camping is basically only the showers, so I gotta start building my own temporary shower right now. I've bought the plumbing parts. I gotta do one of the worst jobs in the world, and that is to crawl into our cellar where the water mains comes in, to install a pressure reducer and in the piping. I'm gonna use flex hose, this multi-layer hose with these squeezy fittings. I've done copper piping in the past. I like copper piping, but it's a lot more work, and actually it's a lot more expensive. So I'm gonna do flex hose, temporary setup for a shower with a heater, and oh no, first I'm gonna hang that door in. That door needs to go back, and then because I see there's a cat be walking in here. I'm trying to keep the tiles clean because they are very, very porous, and I don't want to keep cleaning them. So, but I see the marks of a cat. So a cat has been walking in this house last night. That's quite funny. I love cats. I really do love cats. But they shouldn't be walking on this floor right now. I'm gonna put the door back in, finish that off, and then I'm gonna start with the shower. Oh God, I have to go into that cellar. That's horrible. There's spiders there and all. Ugh. I just came from the cellar where I installed the pressure reducer and then the connections to the multi-layer water hose, water pipe. I'm using this multi-layer pipe. It's a plastic pipe with a metal part in it, but it's not copper. I worked a lot with copper in the past. Soldering and those screw-on fittings, but copper is more expensive these days. It takes me 5 times more time. This is really simple system. You just cut it to size. You clamp with this big clamp a connector to it, and you connect it to wherever you want. And also you can buy, I think they sell this hose, this pipe in lengths of 15 meters, so 45 feet. 50 feet almost. So you can run long lengths with minimal amount of connections, which reduces the chance of leaks. So yeah, it's the first time I'm working with it. I bought all the parts at Brico Dépôt. It's easy to work with. You have to look. You have to do a little bit of research, look into it. It's completely new. It's got nothing to do with the copper piping. But I think it's the way forward. So I finally got the part. Then I'm gonna glue on the back, and then the chimney will go sit on there. So I got some really good glue, really strong, has been promised to me. I've just roughed this up a little with some sandpaper. This is already done. I'm gonna degrease it really thoroughly. Of course, this is not an ideal situation, but it's the best situation we can come up with. Basically just a super degreaser, like a brake cleaner or so. And this glue is promised to me as being a super glue, especially made obviously for chimneys and heat. Rather a bit too much than too little, I think, in this case. Now let that sit for 24 hours and then we lay another bead around it, just to be sure. We don't want any leaks from here. Yeah, and for some reason my camera stopped recording sound, so I'll do this voiceover. Here I am explaining how I am squeezing those squeezy fittings, press fittings, with this special set of pliers. It is super easy. Once you get it right, there's no leak anymore. It's a fantastic system. I could cut an opening in any tube and press a new fitting on without having to use a flame or the possibility of leaking screw-on fittings. Oh, here is where I am actually going to drill a really large 150 millimeter hole in the wall for the exhaust of the gas-fueled water heater. That's a massive drill bit, and my drill actually did have issues with it. It overheated several times. It took quite a while, but eventually we got a nice round 150 millimeter diameter hole throughout the wall. Yeah, and this is one of the larger operations that I've been looking out for a long time, thinking how am I going to do it. This is moving the mattress from the van onto the loft. Now the mattress is 180 centimeter wide, 6 feet, by 6 feet 6, 2 meter long. It's about a foot thick and it weighs 50 kilos, that's 110 pounds. To move this into the loft without damaging it or making it dirty, dragging it on the mud track there, that was quite an undertaking, and I've always thought that I could do it, but I did not have a plan how to do it. It took a while, but eventually we got there. So, Friday evening in the little house. I have officially moved in today. And that was because it was a beautiful, warm, sunny day. Before we had rain, we will get rain later. So I was able to move the mattress out of the van and move all my bedding out of the van into the little house, and everything is installed. I've got my little loft set up upstairs. A bit messy maybe, but that will sort itself out. Oh, I've installed that light we bought ages ago on a brocante. Kind of like it, with this filament light bulb. I don't know whether you can see it. A whole lot needs to be done still. Obviously, I'm basically camping out here right now, but most of the work is really held back by the tiles. It is really funny, well, not really funny, it's really strange that these yellow spots only appear when the tiles are really dry. So this week, when I was sort of well, panic is a big word, but I was pretty desperate. And I decided to paint the whole floor, and before that you need to use a detergent to make sure that there's no grease on it. So I washed, I scrubbed the floor with this detergent and water, resulting in that the tiles went wet and the yellow spots were gone. And they were gone for days. Yeah. I think I've done that Monday or Tuesday, and only today they start reappearing again. I really don't understand what it is. I really don't understand it. But anyway, what I'll do tomorrow is Saturday, I'll turn up the floor and the floor heating. The tiles have been laid by then in a week. The tiles have been laid for a week, sorry. And I think I should be okay to start slowly with the floor heating. Making sure that these tiles are completely dry and that I get to see most of all of the yellow spots as they are. And then I'm going to sand the floor, the spots especially, and I'm going to paint the tiles that are most affected. I bought some good paint and some pigment that supposedly matches the real color quite well, because I actually start to like the floor. I actually really like the floor. So I want to maintain the color, and also I want to maintain the fact that all the tiles have some sort of a different grade in the color. And then after I've painted that, let it sit for 24 hours or so, then I can seal all the tiles off with a water dirt resistant sealant that still leaves the tiles matte. So what I'm doing, as we have no connection yet to the sewage, I mean the sewage is prepared from the government side, but not from our side. We'll do that later. That's just not now the time for it. But I need to have a drain. I need to drain the bathtub, the shower. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain it in the garden. So from now on I'll only be using organic shampoos and soaps and what have you, because it's just going straight through the wall into this trench. I think I'm deep enough. I'm just going to drill a pilot hole and see if I've gone deep enough. I think I have. We'll see. Okay. I'm going to quickly have a look outside and see where the drill comes out. It's really hard to film these little jobs because it's just hard to position the camera so that you get an actual look at the work instead of looking at my back. But you know how it goes, huh? Drilling a hole. No rocket science. Okay, cool. That trench is deep enough. I'm just because the hose going out is a 40 millimeter diameter hose, and I don't have a 40 millimeter diameter drill. So I'm gonna have to drill 3 holes, and then yeah, make a big hole. It's not really nice, but yeah, I guess I don't have enough tools. Yeah. And with this, I'm going to conclude our video for this week. We've done quite a bit. Finally moved into the little house. There's still a lot that needs to be doing. The tiles, the floor needs to be finished. The kitchen block needs to be built in. A lot of finishings needs to be installed. Curtains, I need to varnish the window frames. There's lots and lots of little jobs, but I still got about a month to finish it all. And yeah, I got all the confidence that will go okay. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for commenting and for liking. I'll see you next week.